This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
What exactly did black people ever do?
What did we do for white people to hate us so much?
Like, I'm genuinely asking, what did we ever do to deserve anti-blackness in every single community?
These blacks.
So be it.
Hey yo, Quantic, run them bands up. Hey yo, Quantic, run them bands up.
In 2011, Kelly Williams Bowler spent 9 days in jail for sending her daughters to a high-performing school outside of her district. She had unknowingly broken a law called boundary hopping. In the land of opportunity, that law is meant to make sure poor, underprivileged folk don't better educate themselves without that white man stamp of approval. America promises equal opportunity to everyone. No matter who you are, you can go to a good school, get a great job, live in a great house. But none of that is possible without that white man stamp of approval. Don't believe me? Here, I'll prove it to you. Can you get a good job earning a living wage without that white man stamp of approval? Making minimum wage, he would have to work 140 hours a week, or better put, 24 hours a day, 6 days a week to earn a living wage. Now, if that makes you go into work tomorrow and ask your boss for a raise, be prepared. You're probably gonna need that white man stamp of approval to get it. So now you want to buy a house and you have to get a loan. I think you can see where this is going. In 2015, 27.4% of Black applicants were denied mortgages, more than twice that of white applicants. And when Black applicants were approved, they usually paid higher interest rates. The top lenders are JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Quicken Loans. Want to take a guess who runs these companies? As long as we need that white man stamp of approval, our fate will be in the hands of those who may not think we qualify. Some people will say the system is broken. I'm here to tell you it was intentionally built this way.
Shadeur Sanders and likability. Do the team owners like him as a person? Well, that's an unwinnable game, to be likable to someone that doesn't like Black people. We got enough magazine articles about Jerry Jones' racist comments behind closed doors to know how they really feel. Just because they profit from the labor of Black people doesn't mean they like them. The line between arrogant and charismatic is one of perception. People don't see the world the way it is. They see the world the way they are. It's enough to see the way they feel about Obama. They call Obama the Antichrist. I think we can all agree Obama is about as likable of a nigga as you will find. Drone strikes in Syria removed. Like when he dropped that 3-pointer in front of his whole entourage and walked out the gym. And look, I don't want people getting in my comments bashing all white people. I don't care if you yellow, red, blue, or green. If you anti-racist, we on the same team. You can't dismantle the master's house using the master's tools. Now, when it comes to the NFL, the slavery parallels are abundant. 70% of the players are Black, 90% of the owners are white. They putting these niggas in their drawers on examining blocks in the combine and looking in their ears and shit. When we criticize capitalism, it's because of the imbalance between labor and ownership. Imbalance between labor and ownership. But I gotta say, I love Shadeur's smile through all this bullshit. And I'm glad he came in with such a confident demeanor, letting his nuts hang. Jack Johnson had to really tweak with their ass. Muhammad Ali had to really tweak with him for Floyd to be able to own his entire ecosystem and clean up. Because it's always, ain't nobody bigger than the program. Try taking the Black players out the program. Shit gonna look like a racquetball tournament.
I'm going to try not to get too carried away because I expect the Cleveland Browns to select Shadeur Sanders with the first pick in today's second round of the NFL draft. But, like, the way, you know, the analysis of Shadeur Sanders and the way he's being discussed by pundits is just crazy to me, man. Like, you know, I keep hearing, you know, oh, he doesn't have the strongest arm, or he doesn't have the athleticism that jumps off the page. And so, like, last year or 2 years ago, we drafted Anthony Richardson, who has all of that, but can't play the position. And Shadeur has everything else supposedly you need: toughness, leadership, intelligent, pre-snap read, post-snap read, anticipation throws, accurate with the football. He has all of that, but we don't draft him. And, like, throughout my life, I've seen, you know, teams draft people like Josh Rosen and Brady Quinn and, like, wild people. And we've seen quarterbacks who don't have athleticism that jumps off the page. Like, listen, I know the league has changed, whatever, cool, like, I get all that. But, like, the quarterback position is still a quarterback position. The last quarterback to beat, Jalen Hurts beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl this year. But the last quarterback to beat him before that was Tom Brady, who's not athletic at all and considered the GOAT. Like, the position is the position. Yes, I love Lamar Jackson. He's my favorite player. But, like, you need someone to understand pre-snap, post-snap, rotations, and coverage. Throw with anticipation. Accurate with the football. He had no running game and no offensive line. And he was getting, you know, the crap beat out of him, and he still completed 77% of his passes. His father is the one of the greatest American athletes of all time. He has the pedigree. Coached by his father his whole life. Went to the Manning camp. Knows how to play the position. And the Giants, listen, I don't know, man. The Giants trade back up to get, Jackson Dart. Okay, maybe Jackson Dart is good. I don't know. But, like, I watched Shadeur play. We all did. He played, like, every week. It was always on TV. Like, I watched football my whole life. I played football. Like, he knows how to play. Like, we need competent quarterbacks. Not like the potential of, he jumps off the page. Josh Allen has no rings right now. Like, so it's not about, I don't know, man. It's just the way y'all talk about him. Like, it's the, okay, you got the football evaluation. Then you got his dad and what Deion brings to the table as an active father, as an active black father in his black son's life. And we all know what that is, whether we want to, admit it or not. But it's not only that. It's the way Shadeur dresses, it's the way he talks, and it's his culture, in my opinion. You see him at the draft last night. He's wearing all black. He got the ill chain on, and he talks like a rapper. And I keep hearing, he's entitled. He feels entitled. I don't know. It's like entitled. So like these white boys that came before him don't feel entitled. Eli Manning, Archie Manning, when they said he don't want to play for San Diego, don't draft me. That's not entitlement, but that was acceptable. That was okay for him to do that. But Shadeur is not entitled. Shadeur is just tired of being, and I don't know Shadeur, so let me not, whatever. But I've been in those spaces before. I've been in those spaces. A lot of people don't know. I did some work with the NFL at the Combine before, back in the days, way back in the days. But like I've been in spaces like that in sports. He's tired of being poked and prodded at every step of the process, answering the same questions a million times, poked and prodded. What a lot of these GMs, and not just the GMs, the scouts, the people involved in these evaluations and the drafts and all that, a lot of those people, they want you as a player to submit to them in the process. Whether consciously or subconsciously, they want you to submit. They want to feel like you've submitted to them. That's what they want. And Shadeur, I saw one interview with Louis Riddick, and Field Yates during his pro day, and he was, I could just tell by his body language, he was just like, man, all I need is an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I need is an opportunity. And like, what do you think is the best, are the top number one traits for a quarterback? Don't I have all those? Like, he's just tired of answering the same questions over and over and over again, and submitting to the process, and submitting to like, yes sir, no sir, yes man, no man. I'm not saying you shouldn't be that way, but like, come on, man. So this is a, and someone said the other day, I don't remember who it was, this is a black man with means, comes from a home with means, and has extreme confidence, and is not submitting to y'all in your NFL culture in the way y'all want to. I'm gonna go out there and play football. I know how to play the game. I'm ready to play. I'm a great teammate. I've shown that. I'm tough. No O-line, no running game. I elevated, the HBCU I went to. I elevated, Jackson State. Elevated Colorado to a whole nother level. Like, y'all see me play, and for the Giants, everybody see him play. You see Jackson Dart play. You're gonna take Jackson Dart. Let's see, but see, this is like where, you know, you have so Brian Dable and Lane Kiffin, they cool. One of Lane Kiffin's assistants is Charlie Weiss's son. They cool. They go back to working with Belichick in the Belichick tree. So they all talk to each other, and they're all raving probably about how great this dude Jackson Dart is. Listen, I wish him well. You know, my instinct is, you know, I don't know, we'll see, but they got their network, they got their crew, and they made this decision. You know what I mean? That's what happened, and so, you know, and so here we are, man. But we'll see. I think Shadeur's going to go number 1 to Cleveland tonight, in the second round. If Cleveland is smart, they'll do that, and I think Cleveland's going to have a hell of a player. I don't agree with what Cleveland did. They got a haul for him, but you traded away a pick to get a blue chip in Travis Hunter, and then you picked the D tackle. I forget from what team. And you don't get Genty. So there was 3 blue chips: Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Genty. You had the number 2 pick. You don't get none of those 3, but you do get more picks. So we'll see. I don't know. These teams be bugging.
It's all bullshit. It's all. You see what y'all doing in Shadeur Sanders NFL. We understand y'all playing, but we ain't going for it. Nah, we ain't going for it, because this ain't about just talent. If it was about just talent, we'd understand to a certain extent. But this has gotten out of hand. This has gone too far. And now it's obvious. It's obvious. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. We understand that it's about the name on the back of his jersey. It's about the confidence that he brings every single day. They scared of that. Why are they scared of that? What's wrong with a man with confidence? Oh, he's going to be a diva, a problem, uncoachable. Well, he wasn't uncoachable anywhere else he was. Just because his coach was brown doesn't mean he's uncoachable. It ain't about that. Everybody I want to say, oh, he's a diva, he's this and that. The NFL is filled with divas. Get the fuck out of here with that. I want to hear that bullshit. We understand the plan, NFL. We got you. But Shadeur, keep doing your thing. Keep smiling, because they mad as hell that you smiling while all of this is going on. Keep doing your thing. You're going to get drafted, and whoever drafts you got one of them ones.
All right, I just want to say this really quickly. Even Fox News is in shock of Sanders. Don't play the same games as them. While we are organizing and thinking of one, they're always strategizing, thinking of millions. So I saw someone say that some blemish, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. That means that people don't want to deal with him because they don't want to deal with his father. That is true. People don't like Black men in power that don't have substance abuse issues, that don't have identity issues, that know how to speak well. The arrogance. Deion Sanders has always been arrogant. This is why I never wanted Deion Sanders to work for Colorado. The reason I didn't want him to work for Colorado. A lot of you all say, well, it's about the money, the money, the money. It's not about the money for them, because they have the money to play him, pay him, and sit him down. They don't even want to give him the money. They don't even want to just draft him and then sit him. That's what somebody probably suggested. While we think of one, they think of millions. When Deion Sanders left Jackson State, the reason that they recruited him wasn't just because he was a good coach, but it was because they understand that they can't have millions and millions of young Black boys considering HBCUs over white institutions. I repeat, while we are always looking at one, they are always looking at millions. They will pay him millions of dollars just to ensure that for the next 500 years, our young boys are always recruited into their institutions. This is, you all don't even try to gather while they have the stores and we have the shelves, while they have the contracts to recruit your sons for the NFL, but we carry the sons in the womb. We are never interested in defeating this system. Every report is always, well, why didn't we get included? Well, this is the game that they play, deciding who gets in and who doesn't. Ask Colin, ask anybody. There is no field that they don't play this game in.
The NFL draft. Y'all did the Deion Sanders' son, Shadeur Sanders, is some dirty ass shit. You good old boy owning ass motherfuckers, Jay-Z included. You too. You should have pulled some strings in the back and got that pick in the first goddamn round. He's top 5 in the whole motherfucking college league, and this motherfucker gonna go 144th to Cleveland. Cleveland already got 4, so now they got 5 quarterbacks. It don't make no fucking sense. What, are you gonna come off the bench or some shit? And I think Cleveland made a smart move by picking him, because now they can trade him for some more picks to next year's draft. So I think that's the move Cleveland making. But yeah, y'all full of shit. All you motherfuckers, y'all full of shit. I know what you're doing. You're trying to teach his daddy Deion Sanders a lesson, because he turned that whole Colorado motherfucking college program around by himself. And y'all mad because the top prospects coming out of high school want to play for Deion, not the good old boy white coaches and shit at Ohio, Nebraska, and Texas, and A&M and all that shit. So that's what y'all doing. Y'all trying to smack him up. Y'all ain't shit. I ain't watching no more NFL. Fuck all you motherfuckers. And the Raiders, y'all need a goddamn quarterback. What the fuck was y'all thinking? God damn it. You need an offensive line. You need some shit. You need. You in need. And another thing. All this motherfucking NFL draft. That ain't no NFL draft. They still selling niggas for high prices. Going, sold to the Cowboys. Goddamn, that nigga can run, he can run. Sold, that nigga, goddamn, he got sold to the Oakland Raiders. That boy can hit. He can hit another knock head. Sold. They ain't selling white people now. See? Everybody can join in. Slavery ain't over. It's just in a different form. Them motherfuckers got 3 years tops. They got to make all the money they going to make in their entire life in 3 months, years. Because the average football career is 3 years. You know, you get these anomalies like, you know, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, you know, motherfuckers playing, but 3 years. Save your money. And y'all need to be teaching these young men coming out of college, because I like Deion, because he teach all his kids, stay away from them hoes. They gonna take most of your money if you're dumb, stupid. Invest, get a portfolio, diversify your portfolio. Make sure you're making money outside of football. That's my advice to you young motherfuckers. I wish y'all the best, but all you owners, all you NFL assholes, sons of bitches, fuck all your sons of bitches, motherfucker. That's some dirty shit.
Shadeur Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on him, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on him? How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. And when you're talking about the owners, I'm going to keep in mind, and I tweeted about this, seems very Kaepernick-like, as in Colin Kaepernick.
The Shadeur Sanders finally getting drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. But in order to share the crime, the $40 million robbery that just took place of Shadeur Sanders, or should I say, I think the crime, the $50 million robbery of Shadeur Sanders, because that's what I just witnessed. And that's wow. Just like Ronnie, Shadeur now is in a place where Dion can't go and Dion can't protect. I loved Cleveland picking this kid early on, but I can be mad at Cleveland if they played the cards and picked him up in the 5th round and saved $50 million. Maybe in their minds, they figure they tricked off that money to Deshaun, so they got to trick it back off of Shadeur. You can't be mad at them because he was still there in the 5th round. But I surely would like to know how they knew he would still be there in the 5th round. I surely would like to know, with the value placed on quarterbacks, I don't care if you had a star quarterback, if you have a Patrick Mahomes or anybody, you don't leave this kind of talent in the draft. I wonder if Cleveland got a call from somebody in the NFL saying, we got to draft this kid, or something has to happen, or we got to lift whatever dark spot we put on him, or something has to happen. All I know is all my life, the years that we have processed quarterbacks, watched quarterbacks, rated quarterbacks, I've never seen a quarterback rated like this, done like this. So my mind has to say, what else is this? And the people that are involved and the people that are making the calls and the people that are working inside, you know what it is. And I have to say this, man, I just don't know how people put toothbrush to tooth in the morning and start their day, or even put head to pillow at night and get some rest. Well, you know, you just robbed this young man of $50 million. And it wasn't on his playing ability. Wow. Shame on you.
One more. After the president's Truth Social post, the Browns finally took Shadeur Sanders. Does the president think he deserves credit for Sanders getting picked? And does he think going to the Browns is better than being undrafted?
Hey, all I will say is the president put out a statement, and a few rounds later he was drafted. So I think the facts speak for themselves on that one, Peter. We'll go to the back row in the middle, to the blonde. Yeah.
One more.
All right. So what happened with Shadeur Sanders?
Well, a number of things happened. The number one thing that didn't happen was there was not a collusion message with the NFL owners.
Okay. What? Okay. A lot of people think that.
Because they wouldn't be able to keep a secret like that. And
so they might do it, but they couldn't shut up about it.
They wouldn't be able to shut up about it. But every owner is very, very selfish. Now, why would I do something to my detriment? Like if I need a quarterback and I think this kid is it, what he didn't realize is the guys that have fallen in the draft before, they all had unusual traits. Like they had some superstar qualities to them. Now, some other things happened that made them fall, but Shadeur and his family, they overplayed their hand. Them thinking that he was in the same evaluation mode as Eli Manning, they didn't play that right. Them trying to narrow the teams that he was going to go to, that didn't do right. Not working out the combine, that wasn't the right thing. His interview process, obviously he could have done a lot better in that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people left that meeting, felt he was very, very entitled.
Which meet? Like, because they said Brian DeBall, Giants coach, had said he didn't like the meeting. He asked him, he had some book, was his playbook or something he was supposed to know, and he said he felt weird about it. I don't know who else said they didn't like the meeting with him. Or were just people behind the scenes saying they did?
Well, the thing about it, they didn't draft him.
I know that.
So it's not the tape. And he likes guys to be a little more open before he lets it go. And he doesn't have a big time arm. He's not a big guy. He's not overly athletic.
Mm-hmm.
So his measurables are not, say, first round measurables, but he played football like a first rounder.
But his tape's first round tape. But his measurables are not first round measurables.
Well, you don't play football all the time. You're a human being the rest of the time. And how you're going to be in the locker room, how he already came up with this line of merchandise, legendary, like he's already calling himself legendary. All those things are problems. Right now, he's working check to check, man. Like he's not going to get a big signing bonus. There's not going to be a big guarantee. Any day they want to get rid of him in the week, they can get rid of him.
Don't we think Shadeur is smart enough to know he's not at Jackson State and he's not at Colorado?
No.
You don't think so?
I listened to too many of his answers. I saw too many of the outtakes. I saw too many times he was working out with other players. And he said things that I thought were highly questionable for my franchise quarterback.
So like what?
When he was working out with Cam Ward, him and Cam Ward, the number one pick.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you want to cut a rap video together? No, I want to be known as a football player.
And he's like, what do you do for fun? He's like, I play football. Like,
why wouldn't you sit down with people? And something these kids never understand. Even if you're a top 10 pick, you're in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah.
So your interview, your tape, people in the room that see you, someone can like you in the room. They might not draft you 5-10 years later, man.
You're looking for a guy, you're looking to trade, and they remember your interview.
Yes.
The interview you had.
It's a small world. This whole thing with Dion and the media and everything, like it's out of control. Like it did not help him. It helped him make money in college because he got followers, but it actually hurt him as far as him getting a job as an NFL quarterback.
You mean as Shadeur, his social media stuff with Shadeur?
Yes.
It hurt him.
Yeah. What else hurt him?
I know you've
let me tell you what he understands today.
Okay.
He ain't running shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what they taught him a great lesson.
Okay.
Like you don't have this figured out. Your dad don't have this figured out.
Who's they? NFL,
Shadeur,
the world. No, who taught you? Said they taught him. I'm just curious. Like,
well, the system.
The system. Okay,
there's a system out there, man.
Okay.
Like you're going for a job interview. So for his job interview, he was so concerned about what his outfit was. His necklace was over $100,000. Like he hadn't even convinced people that you're the face of our franchise. Matter of fact, He had convinced people that they were better off going in a different direction, even with people who had lesser talent. That's the rub he put on the people.
If that's the case, that's a bad interview, bro.
No, it is the case. He didn't get drafted right. It's no speculation. Like, we're through the draft. We threw 3 days. He threw away at least $30 to $50 million. At least.
Perfect time. Come on, bro. Let's make a song. Let's drop one, Richie. I play football. Here we go. Yeah, it is football. I play football. You ain't got no hobbies outside of that? I play football. That's the only hobby. I want people to know me as football player. Let's search up Kenwood. We say American football. On perfect time. Come on, bro. Let's make a song. Let's drop one, Richie. I play football. Here we go. Yeah, it is football. I play football. You ain't got no hobbies outside of that? I play football. That's the only hobby. I want people to know me as football player. Let's search up Kenwood. We say American football.
And you know it has something to do with the last name on his jersey. Yep. Because, and you know, like what you just said, you know Deion is 100% hurting. That's his son. That's his baby. Like you said, like, he's always gonna be there. He's the dad, you know. He's always gonna want what's best for him. And I almost feel like NFL teams are terrified of that. What do they think? Deion's gonna come in and be coach? Deion's gonna come in and say, no, he can't run that way. He's gonna run this way. Like, the fact that Deion has been such a good dad terrifies the NFL circles.
But why? Why is being?
But that's what I'm saying.
Why is being a great dad a problem?
That's what I'm saying. He has been such a good dad that they think that I feel like they think he's gonna come meddle in the relationship, because he has always said that, you know, when he said that he's not gonna let Shadeur go somewhere where he's not supposed to go, or whatever he said exactly. Right. I feel like the NFL literally thinks that he's gonna come in and meddle so hard that whatever, but he's not going to. He's just being a good dad. That's what any of us, a parent that loves their kid and wants the best for their kid, would do. Yeah. Like, this whole thing is so freaking messed up that, like, I truly am so upset about this entire thing, and I truly am upset for the entire Sanders family that this is even what they have to go through. Because, like you said, Travis is literally part of the Sanders family at this point. His last name might be Sanders also.
Yeah, and they didn't punish him.
I don't
want him to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want him to punish Travis. Travis is an amazing player.
Yes.
Shadeur Sanders is an amazing player as well. We'll finish with this because Deion does bring attention no matter what he says, where he goes, and so does Shadeur. But there's more NFL teams that know how to mess a quarterback up than know how to develop them. Ooh. That's why we're constantly talking about what is this team going to do with this quarterback this year, and what are they going to do with this quarterback this year. We've had drafts where there's been 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, and those same teams are drafting the quarterback a couple of years later. Why? Because they know how to mess them up. They don't know how to build them up. That is why Archie Manning said that Eli Manning was not going to go to San Diego. He knew, if I got him in New York, it'll be the best situation for my son. And nobody treated Eli the way that they're treating Shadeur Sanders. Mm-hmm. And Shadeur Sanders didn't even say he wouldn't go somewhere. So for me, we should not be punishing Black fatherhood for them being in their children's lives, having an impact on their lives, because we don't punish white fatherhood for the same exact thing. And I know Eli won 2 Super Bowls in New York.
So will Shadeur.
There's nothing saying that Shadeur Sanders won't win a Super Bowl. There's nothing saying that he won't be a franchise quarterback. There's nothing saying that he can't be everything that he has been at the collegiate level. But you gotta give him a chance. And you gotta not punish him because you're afraid of the spotlight that Deion and Shadeur bring to the table. So,
preach, baby.
With that being said, that's the end of this episode. We appreciate you guys listening to Out of Pocket with RG3. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And
What up, world? That's another situation. They hate to see confident niggas. When you black and you confident, you know where you come from, you know who you are, you know what you can do, and you don't need nobody to pat you on the back to give you the confidence. They hate it. They hate it. Even our own people. Our own people be ready to kick us when we down. Shannon going through a little something, and I don't know what's going on. But look how many of y'all happy to see Shannon go through something. I'm praying for all my brothers out here, man, because we all got a wave to catch. It's enough for all of us out here. But it's not surprising to see how many of us can't wait to see one of us go through something. And every man has a wave to catch. It's enough for all of us out here, bro. Every last one of us. Don't try to kick somebody when they're going through something, man. Every man has a wave to catch. You just got to wait on guard. Facts.
And they took him off because the owner said, take him off. I don't want that guy. Shadeur Sanders just torpedoed himself. His attitude off the field at the combine, his dad didn't help him either. You know, he was on podcast talking about, this is my son. If I can get him to where I want to get him to, I'm going to do that. But, you know, when you listen to this kid talk right prior or at the combine about if you want a new culture in your locker room, I'm the guy to do that. I can turn it around. I mean, he's very high on himself. And I think he was very off-putting to many coaches and general managers in the league. And I'm telling you right now, and I know this after talking to 3 different personnel people in the NFL this weekend, they didn't even have him on their board. They took him off. And they took him off because the owner said, take him off. I don't want that guy. I don't want this entitled person on our team. And I don't blame them. They took him off. And they took him off because the owner said, take him off.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are. If you ain't trying to change.
Coach called Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield, quote, over the top cocky. An NFL head coach said when they asked him about other quarterbacks, he rolled his eyes at Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, and others. Rolled his eyes. Last week at the Combine, it should be duly noted that Albert Breer, a great NFL reporter, says Baker Mayfield turned some GMs and scouts off.
He rubbed some people the wrong way at the Senior Bowl. So this is going to be an interesting week when it comes to the interviews. And it wasn't that he acted out or there was any sort of outburst or anything like that. There's a defiance to Baker Mayfield. And the guy you saw walking up the sideline against Kansas, the guy who carried himself with a chip on his shoulder, that's who he was in these meetings. And you have to remember, lots of these coaches and general managers come to the Senior Bowl, come to the Combine with the expectation that these guys are going to treat it as a job interview, that they're going to dress themselves up and put on their best face. That's not who Baker really was in Mobile. It was a little bit more of, the feel of, this is who I am, take it or leave it.
And there is a difference. We all know this between cocky and arrogant. There's a difference between saying, if you're asked about other quarterbacks, I'm great and, I like my chances against all the other guys. That's Sam Darnold. The opposite is Baker Mayfield. So we thought we would play a game today. We're going to take really
the elephant in the room for a lot of people, race. Because some people are saying race, yes. Deion because he's black, a white father, would they have viewed that way? Look, are there owners in the NFL that maybe if it was a white father acting as Deion, wouldn't look at it as bothersome? Perhaps, probably, right? But here's the truth. Cam Ward, obviously, black quarterback chosen number 1. Second straight year, black quarterback chosen number 1. He's the 7th black quarterback that's been chosen number 1 in the draft. All right. 2 of the teams that overlooked Shadeur, Andrew Berry with the Browns, the GM is black. And if you're right, coach, it was a white owner that said, go draft him. All right. We saw the picture. He didn't look excited. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, You know, black coach, they overlooked him. And if you look, I keep looking at the war rooms, and when they have it, that was like the blackest war room in the league. Get more brothers in the war room, NFL. My goodness, it's like ridiculous. Where are the brothers at? But then you go to the reporters. The reporter that reported that people thought Shadeur was brash and arrogant was black, Josina Anderson. The reporter who said that Jonathan Jones, African-American, says that the feeling was Shadeur sandbagged. That's a direct quote. Sandbagged some of his interviews, purposely didn't do well because he didn't want to go to those teams. He was African-American. When we start the season, week 1, anywhere from 15 to 17 of the starting quarterbacks will be black. So I'm just saying, like, race, maybe it was some sort of factor, but it was not the dominant factor in this situation.
Hey, before we get going, you got to hear this bet. Yeah. So I come in and he's just talking nonsense.
Always.
Shadeur Sanders not going to get drafted in the first round because he probably saw a tweet that said a couple scouts doesn't have him as a first round grade.
That sounds like the And I graded him.
Our bet, 1,000. You graded him. What do you know about quarterback? Nothing. $1,000 bet.
This dude.
$1,000 bet that he goes in the top 2 rounds. If he goes beyond that, Delaney wins.
What you think of that bet?
I think you're going to lose $1,000.
You crazy.
He said Shadeur is going to slip to the 5th round. Mark my words.
But this is an offensive line draft this year. A lot of old line gonna go. That's gonna push
offensive
a lot.
line draft every year, bro.
No, he not going in
a good
He not
quarterback.
going in the
Give him a
first
chance to take
round.
the bet back.
I ain't taking
No.
it back. I
He's
ain't
locked
taking
in
it
on
back.
We shook. He was so confident we shook twice on that bet.
Oh shit. Twice. He not going in the first round.
Hey, before we get going, you got to.
Black men, never put your life in the hands of a white man. The same people who slaved you. That don't make no sense, kid. I've been telling y'all for years. Man, there's a lot of millionaires been through the NFL. A lot of, retired NFL players that can start groups. And you could do AAU. You can start a new NFL, man. You can never let them people own you, kid. Never let them people own you. They got to sit at the table with you eye to eye. Why would you trust that? That is crazy. So, like I said, just like Slim always say, seed to a motherfucking tree. Seed to a motherfucking tree. Of course, we can't jump out and be as successful as the NFL in 1 year. But who wouldn't? Just like he showed what he could do with Jackson, just like he showed what he could do in Colorado. We need Deion to start a new NFL. If it's like that, if they playing them games, we need leverage. That's what they'll do in business. Walmart tripping, let's fuck with Target. You know what I'm saying? Let's start a new motherfucking competition league, man, and make it cool. Who else but the best? But how the fuck ain't no black owners in that bitch? Once you got no black owners in the NFL and 80% of the NFL is black, it's a problem. This ain't DEI. So of course they can get together and do shit like this.
These blacks.
What is good? What is good? So I guess we're all caught up on all the ins and outs and the facts and the details and whatnot. Are we all up to speed? Because this is all, between this and fighting gorillas, that's all. $72 hours, really. It's been, and how do we plot on this gorilla? And honestly, the gorilla thing was interesting for a minute, but I don't know if I'm going to do content on the gorilla thing. But I gotta tell you that I'm not really a sports fan. I wasn't really going to cover this, but it is it's like content. I'm not just going to leave the content laying around with nothing to do with it. But I was actually in a conversation about this the other day. I was over on a panel on Freezy and channel. Yeah, Freezy, No Captivity. They were talking about this thing. And all the black people are really, really like feeling some type of way. All the want they're gonna boycott the NFL or something like that. I don't know. Let's take a listen to some of them.
Because of his father. They said, oh, we don't want to see another guy dancing on the field. See, we're using other collateral matters to deny this guy.
That's
we really
crazy.
are.
That's so crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
Shadeur has no criminal record. Neither did Cam Newton. Neither did Lamar Jackson. Neither did Colin Kaepernick. They had families that support him and they were arrogant.
Black.
What?
So it's not because he's black. It's something else. Because everybody's black.
Now you focus on the black issue. Nobody said anything about because he's black. That was just a part of the title that he put in just to see everybody's perspective. Not everybody agree because he's black, but it seems like you're saying it's not okay to be confident while black. What's wrong with that?
Rebranded it as you rebranding confidence as arrogance.
You guys are no. Well, it's in the eye of the beholder, and that's kind of the problem. It doesn't matter how you see yourself. It matters how people see you. Because you want these people to give you a job, and that's what we fail to understand.
Okay.
No matter how we want it to be, it is what it is.
So you don't think that they're going against him because of his father?
I don't know that to be true, and I don't know how. I don't know if that's true or not. But so what? Because if I don't want your dad bringing his antics around my company, why am I wrong for saying that?
What coach or owner said what you said?
All right, sound check. Is my mic a little bit better now? You guys told me my mic sounded shaky a minute ago.
Said
they don't have to, but I'm kind of thinking that's how it works, though, bro.
This is where it gets dangerous.
Okay.
We're all speculating. I'm the only one being dangerous, apparently.
No. What we all know, even Skip Bayless, even Donald Trump, that Shadeur Sanders should have won in the first round. Everybody know that.
Baker Mayfield said the same shit.
What you think about that?
Baker Mayfield did the same and said the same shit. The kid, Joe Burrow in the conference that the Ravens is in, he was smoking cigars. He's arrogant too. It's only a problem with a nigga who has a family that's supporting him. Lamar Jackson didn't get no agent. They dragged him across it. He don't got no charges. He ain't got him and his mama got him a $260 million contract. They dragged him across the universe. He did nothing. And still hasn't. Them four people I named, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Colin Kaepernick, Shadeur, all got the same exact treatment.
Wasn't there a kid who got like the first round pick? He's got a mom and a dad. Like he comes from a traditional, regular married couple, right?
Who?
I forget his name because I'm not even following sports that heavy.
I know the point you're gonna make. You're gonna say, oh, because he was quiet, he wasn't.
Well, again, it's a personality thing. I mean, it's not up to you whether other people like you or not. I mean, actually, you can help it though, but other people just, if they don't like you, what? It's because you're black.
Bow down kind of thing. I don't care what nobody says.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. All them teams that passed on Shadeur, them motherfuckers dumb as hell. I agree with Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, these people is dumb and stupid, idiots. You know why Donald Trump said that? Because he understand what world class said. He understand about the bottom line. Man, fuck all that shit, all that. You got some kind of vendetta against this dude daddy from years ago or some shit, whatever. Man, that shit.
Is there a new presidential bromance brewing? It sure seemed that way today when the Philadelphia Eagles visited the White House to celebrate their big Super Bowl win.
Your superstar running back who I met yesterday, and I want to tell you he's a handsome guy, but I wouldn't want to tackle him. Saquon Barkley, where's Saquon? But I offered him a ride on Air Force One because I was coming down, and usually they say no, I don't think so. He said, "I'll take it, sir." And he loved it, and we love being together. He's a great young guy.
Eagle star running back Saquon Barkley took a lot of heat for his golf weekend and VIP ride on Air Force One with President Trump, but he brushed it off on social media, posting in part, "Maybe I just respect the office. Not a hard concept to understand. Just golfed with Obama not too long ago and look forward to finishing my round with Trump." Joining me now, contributing writer to The Atlantic and host of the podcast, Jamel Hill is Unbothered. Jamel Hill. Also here is former NFL wide receiver Dante Stallworth.
Okay, I have some thoughts. Now that my audio is a little bit better, let's talk. There's a hypocrisy right under the surface of this whole NFL hates a confident black man line, because that is that's like the common through line I keep hearing with a lot of this criticism of what's going on with Shadeur Sanders. The NFL doesn't like confident black men. It's your confidence, you know. They hate that he got a daddy. Oh my God, really? Really? They hate that he has a daddy. That's the NFL hates black fathers, right? Interesting. Hearing that a lot. I've been hearing so much about confident black men and how the NFL don't like his confidence. They don't like his swagger. I don't think it's that. You know what I notice every time we have a racial cause celebrate, as it were, there is a shift. Is a pulling together almost. There's a halt in the online gender war even. And this is one thing I noticed, because even though there are a handful of figures that may have pulled the black manosphere slightly to the right, black men by and large, so that means the black manosphere, it is a place of left-leaning thought by and large. There's no way to really get around that. If you're right-leaning in the black manosphere, you become more and more isolated, right? And so what I've noticed even, is the channels where they spend a great deal, the vast majority of their bandwidth and their broadcasting time focused on black women criticism content. It almost always comes to a screeching halt anytime racism appears on the horizon. And I thought it odd. And I actually remember when the first time this became real to me. It was during the George Floyd event, the incident. It kind of broke the manosphere a little bit. It broke the black manosphere a little bit, in that a lot of people who were friends and allies and ideological compatriots in their criticism of black women, a huge fault line emerged between people. And I'm talking about myself even to that extent. I was a part of it all. This is where my beef with MOT and all that really started to go crazy. But I noticed during that time how the gender war almost came to an end for a moment. You know, we eventually got sick of these hoes, but eventually the gender war came to an end. Well, for a moment, rather, it came to an end. And I start to realize then that is the power of the racial pull in the black conversation. As long as racism can be leveraged to any degree, there is no gender warring. We're all black together, which is kind of part of the plan. And what I realized about this whole Sanders situation, who do you think hates black fathers more, black women or the NFL? Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there. Who actually hates black fathers more, black women or the NFL? Black women or the National Football League? Who do you think really has a problem with black male leadership? Who do you think really burns internally over black male leadership? You think the NFL is really spinning in its grave? You think the NFL is rethinking its life over black fatherhood? Or do you think black women actually resent black fatherhood more than the NFL? It's a question. It's a question. Think it over. Think it over. You know what? Here, I'm gonna give you guys some thinking music. Who hates black fathers more? No. Who hates confident black men more? Who's the true bane of the confident black man's existence? The NFL or black women? I was in this panel. I was in this conversation with Freezy and them, and they're talking about the NFL and they hate a confident black man, and they got damn near half women on the panel at times, and I'm just looking at the environment, studying my ops. And I'm like, damn, these hoes don't even know their power level. It's crazy. It's crazy how you don't even know your power level. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do. And I'm staring the beast right in the eye. I'm staring right into the abyss here. But I can't help, even in these moments of peak racial unity, I just can't help but to look at these broads like, I'm pretty sure you hate my confidence way more than the white man at the NFL. I'm pretty sure you hate my confidence way more than any coach ever did. If there's anyone who's ever went out of their way to break a black man's confidence, to check a black man, because I don't like the cut of his jib, it was probably a black woman. I am not buying this moment of racial harmony because we all got to pull together because the son of a black millionaire screwed up a couple of job interviews. No, that is not evidence that this white man's billionaire franchise hates me more than you do. I know in my bones you got issues with my spirit. And so I'm just like, how are we sitting around here caking with these broads like y'all not the ones who really hate a black man's confidence? Like, you only respect black male confidence if it's channeled through your vagina.
Shit is so damn stupid trying to throw your
Archie Manning, who played for the Saints, who was a Hall of Famer, he said the same thing with his oldest son Peyton. He got drafted second.
But it's not common though. Most
it's not.
people are just happy to make it. if they
Because
make
I'm listening to everything, right? So World Class is saying he has called out the media, or he has challenged people before. He's announced, well, my son is not gonna do. So it sounds like more than a race thing, it is a humbling thing, and on some like we're gonna punish you for your father kind of thing, and to like set a precedent. Like, yeah, if you want to be a part of our thing, you're gonna behave a certain way, or this.
How is that not the thoughts of the matriarchy, though? How dare the matriarchy criticize the NFL for having rules and standards, though? You feel me? Like, I can't believe that's where we were in this moment. Like, bro, you guys really don't see it. But of course they don't. That's you know, that's freezing them. That's what they do over there. But the point stands. The point stands. Who really hates black male confidence? Who really is the enemy of the confident black man? Who hates black fathers more? Come on. Come on. Do we really have to go there? Do we really, really have to go there?
To have both of you guys here today with me. Let me ask you about this, Dante, because Saquon is defending his outing with the president. Trump seems, frankly, more than flattered by all this. What do you make of it?
That deep sigh. You
start
told
there.
it all.
You start
Okay, that's his response. Go ahead.
I love Saquon. I think he's a great player, and you can't deny his talent. One of the things that bothered me the most was that he was one of the players that, back in 2020, when the NFL players were really going after the NFL for not standing up against the NFL and the president at the time, President Trump. He was one of the guys at the forefront saying racism and injustice cannot exist. And then he goes today, 5 years later, and he's golfing with Donald Trump. And one of the things that he said was that, it's not about politics, or leave politics out of it. One of the things I'm reminded of, there's a quote that's attributed to the Greek philosopher or the Greek politician Pericles, where he says, it's attributed to him. It's a similar words, paraphrasing. He says, "You may not be interested in politics, but that doesn't."
You notice how the black man and the woman, they mostly get along together when we're fighting racism. Outside of the context of fighting racism, we don't seem to be able to really sit together and mingle and cooperate, But when that white man, he do something funny, we do make nice with each other. She almost looking at him like she like him. That's damn near a smile she got on her face.
I mean, politics won't be interested in you. And so, as you see, they've used his tweet, the White House, they've posted his tweet, they've posted photos with him. He's essentially being used kind of as a propaganda tool to say, hey, look, Saquon Barkley likes us. Everyone else should like us because he is, number one, a black player in the NFL. And number two, he's a prominent African American. At the same time, it's evident where he says that he just respects the office of the president. It's evident that Donald Trump doesn't respect the office of the president. He only respects the power that it wields.
So, Jamal, is there an unfair pressure and double standard being put on black players in the NFL to appear or not appear at events like this for the reasons he's talking?
I noticed CNN is very black woman heavy. They got rid of Don Lemon. He got a podcast now. And all their major primetime hosts are black women. And they like talking about racism.
Oh, definitely. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that this administration has communicated so often about how they feel about black people in this country. At the same time, while he is with the president, you have this administration taking away precious artifacts from the National African American Museum here in Washington, D.C.
What artifacts is he taking? I got to hear about this. Is he taking like the scrolls of sisterhood or something like that? What artifacts is Trump taking from the Black Museum? Did he find like Shaka Zulu's spear? What artifacts is he taking? Was it John Henry's hammer? What artifacts do they have in the National Black History Museum that Trump is taking? I'm curious now.
You have them doing other things that show that they are more than willing to undermine Black liberation in this country. And so if you're a Black player, that automatically is going to put you at the crosshairs of politics. And so while I do think generally my position is with these White House invites, whether it be a Republican or a Democrat in office, we've seen players that didn't go when Obama was in
Jalen
office.
Hurts didn't go today.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts didn't go today either. But the thing is that I've always felt like it's up to the player to decide that. But once you make that decision, realize that people like you and I can be here on television to question whether or not or where it is you truly stand by standing and aligning yourself with somebody who frankly has really done a lot and has a very long.
Yeah, if you support the president, you don't support Black women. Can we just be honest about that? You know, it's sort of like if you see somebody wearing a mask in public, you can just infer certain things about this person who was masking up like 5 years after the event. And sort of like that with Black women. If you support Donald Trump, then you don't support Black women. And that makes you a bad person.
But I want to address this simping allegation. Do I simp for Black women? Yes. I love Black women. I don't like y'all niggas. This is an easy decision to make. Sorry.
Bad people, every one of you.
Long history of completely disrespecting people who look like you. Because if you didn't play sports, if you were not a Super Bowl champion, if you were not Saquon Barkley, his reception of you would be a lot different.
So what does it say about the white players that attend then? Is the opposite also true then, that those who attend who are not Black, they are making a statement?
Yeah, I remember politics weren't really talked about in the NFL locker rooms, at least any of the NFL locker rooms that I was in up until 2008 when Obama was running.
Yeah, I know. Black people brought politics into the NFL locker room, right? Can we be honest about that? White guys didn't do it. White guys didn't come in your locker room, you know, preaching their Bible and questioning all your baby mamas and stuff. You did that.
Who attend who are not Black, they are making a statement?
Yeah, I remember politics weren't really talked about in the NFL locker rooms, at least any of the NFL locker rooms that I was in up until 2008 when Obama was running against McCain. And that's kind of when things started to explode and people regularly began talking politics.
Albert says Black people ruin sports. I wonder if that's the reason why I just don't watch sports anymore. It's not a fan of watching Black millionaires act like life is hard. Watching millionaires chase balls around just doesn't appeal to me like it used to. Shout out to all the millionaires chasing balls around, though. You guys are awesome.
There's a ton of players in the NFL who are outright Trump supporters, and as me and Jamel were talking about, out earlier, Trump has become more palatable for a number of reasons, and so that has allowed these players to kind of step out of the shadows or kind of step out and say, you know what, I'm okay with this. But there were a lot of players that also didn't show up. A lot of the star players that didn't show up. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and a lot of other players on defense as well. So there's still players that are going to make that stand. But the players that were there, they know what the conversation is going to be when you go to the White House.
And if I just may add this quickly, is Saquon Barkley was able to do that, and he was able to put out, hey, I did it because I respect the office. At the same time, while we saw several players, or at least the Eagles, they sort of massaged it as it was scheduling conflicts. I think those players that didn't come should have the same right to say why they didn't come and explain. I mean, they don't owe us an explanation, but if Jalen Hurts has political and
you want beef, don't you? You want that smoke. You want them to be out like, I hate the president too, and I stand with Black women, right? That's really what you want. You want the Eagles to ride with you.
social reasons why he didn't attend, I think it's fair that he be able to speak to whatever that is and what his concerns are about this administration.
Or as some would say, not have to address anything at all. He played the game. He won the trophy. Next. We'll see. Speaking of somebody who is aspiring to do that, I'm talking about University of Colorado quarterback Shadeur Sanders, who, as we know, did not go as early as he certainly wanted to. There's been a lot of statements that were made about why he was so low in the draft. People talked about attitude. They talked about, bravado, all sorts of things.
You know, it's funny. We're talking about Shadeur Sanders, and I'm on the team of Shadeur. His image and maybe his just sort of unprofessionalism probably killed him more than any type of collusion or racial things or his confidence or the black dad. Like all that stuff sounds petty. But Freeze on Lou in the chat says, I'm not saying niggas gotta dress like niggas, but this type of soy suit has to go, bow tie included. See, the thing with Shadeur, he didn't give the signals that he would be good for that culture, right? So when this guy wears his bow tie and his, funny looking glasses, he's giving off signaling that he's right for a particular culture. And niggas understand it, but they want to pretend not to understand it when it's, when it's white people involved.
Of course, we know who his father is, Hall of Famer and Colorado coach Deion Sanders. Why do you think he wasn't picked as high?
I think it's really layered. I think there's a number of issues that are at play here. The NFL doesn't have a great track record for a lot of things. One of the things, though, I will say is that the NFL is extremely tolerant for talent, right? So the more talent you have, the more tolerant they will be. And we see, you've had guys like Baker Mayfield, you've had guys like Johnny Manziel, Caleb Williams, who turned out to be number one quarterback or top 5, top 10 pick, who had a number of concerns and issues from league officials. But these kids coming out of college were extremely, they were the kind of the outright number one pick. And I don't think Shadeur Sanders had that kind of ability to say, hey, I'm the number one guy, so I don't have to go to the combine and work out. I don't have to go to the Senior Bowl and work out. And I can kind of dictate to these teams what I want to do in my interviews. And that didn't go over too well with NFL owners.
Sometimes you talk to black people, you get the feeling that among black folk anyway, there's this belief that you can kind of swag your way through life. Talk to a lot of people. You talk to enough black people about stuff like this, and talk to them about approach and image, mannerism and behavior. And a very common response from a lot of black folk is, why do I have to change myself? I'm just gonna be like I am. You gotta accept me for me. And the simple fact is, the higher up the social economic ladder you want to go, the more you're going to have pressures to conform. And the pressures will be so great that you just will fall back down the ladder if you don't conform to maybe some of these rules that you think are minuscule and minor. And your black ass don't get to make the rules. Take me as I am only works with Jesus, and he's white too.
There's a Steve Keim, who is a longtime NFL official. He's the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals for like 20 years. He once said that if Hannibal Lecter ran a 4.4, he would be drafted in the first round. So the talent, and that's not to say that Shadeur is not talented. He is a top 2 round talent. But for him to drop all the way to the 5th, it lets you know that it's not on the field stuff. It's something off the field.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to account for that and go work hard. And in this position, he's actually got a chance to start, or to at least to contribute to the team at some point this year or next season.
I mean, first of all, he quoted Pericles and mentioned Hannibal Lecter.
I know.
I mean, I'm just, there's some respect. That's draft and growth, people. But Jamal, Stephen A. said a lot about Sanders, but he also tweeted out, quote, "This is Kaepernick all over again." What's your reaction?
My answer is no.
Mhm.
That's my reaction. And I can't believe this is the number one skeptic of the NFL. I'm somebody who many times Atlantic and in shows like this have talked about how this league has a lot of racist underpinnings. They, as you mentioned, they have a terrible track record. So
that's what's funny about this. She's like one of the primetime black female racists in the game still. And even she's like, no, you niggas are doing too much.
I'm the last person to throw down the cape over the puddle for the NFL. But in this case, it wasn't about race. I think it had everything to do with the fact that they did not value Shadeur Sanders as a talent, as that kind of surefire. He's a lock as a first round or top 5 kind of guy. And again, in that draft process, that's an evaluation of who you are, your character, your football character, all those things. So if it's true, the reports that he was purposely tanking some interviews because he didn't want to go to those teams, showing up and doing other things with other teams, those kind of messages get out across the league and they're going to reflect poorly on him. And so you can't, if they already think you're kind of a borderline.
Shout out to the Midwest request with the $2 super chat. He says, when keeping it real goes wrong, NFL draft edition. Thank you for that. And then shout out to my man Dolomite early in the show with the $2 super chat. He was saying, show my guy hoodies some love. Appreciate you guys coming through, supporting the show. Like the video. We're going to drop the link in a minute, and you guys can share some thoughts about this whole deal.
Talent, and then you add the extra stuff to it, it is going to greatly influence your draft stock. And no, we can't compare it to Colin Kaepernick. This is a man who lost his career when he already had been to a Super Bowl and done a lot as a quarterback. And then he had his career taken from him because of he made the mistake of actually standing up for Black people.
Shadeur, prove him wrong, I guess. Jamel, Dante, thank you both. And thank you all for
Bro, they gave you a completion percentage award, and all you did was throw check downs and bubble screens. If I did that, my completion percentage would be 90. I throw the ball downfield, you don't. You ran the ball. You had a run game. You had a run game. You had a run game. And you did it? No. You was told that thing first. Think about it. Told him run rest of yours. Come on, man. That ain't my fault. I hope you're not getting no water. We just had the first drill. Oh, that's how you feel? You get water. We ain't even done with the first drill. Let's go. That's how it is in Colorado, though. Inside the numbers, top. That's what it's like for a 9-win man. I didn't have water. I was in Gatorade. Shit, I get paid for. That's cool. I don't need to get paid. Bro, they gave you a completion percentage award, and all you did was throw check downs and bubble screens. If I did that, my completion percentage would be 90. I throw the ball downfield, you don't. You ran the ball. You had a run game. You had a run game. You had a run game. And you did it? No. You was told that thing first. Think about it. Told him run rest of yours. Come on, man. That ain't my fault. I hope you're not getting no water. We just had the first drill. Oh, that's how you feel? You get water. We ain't even done with the first drill. Let's go. That's how it is in Colorado, though. Inside the numbers, top. That's what it's like for a 9-win man. I didn't have water. I was in Gatorade. Shit, I get paid for. That's cool. I don't need to get paid. Bro,
So Shadeur Sanders fell in the NFL draft because of racism. I should have known that somebody would pull the race card, and I think it's just a pathetic take. That's just my opinion, though. Here are some numbers, some facts. If you care about facts and the truth right now, that might interest you. I did some homework. It's not that hard, you guys. Last season, 15 of the 32 NFL starting quarterbacks were Black. That's about half, right? That's racist. How about the top 15 NFL players as far as money, payment, what they're making, salary? Dak Prescott, the highest paid player at $60 million a year. That's racist. And of the top 15 paid players, 9 are Black or biracial. 9 of the 15, making a combined $448 million a year. This weekend, I know you kept track how many Black players were taken in the first round. 26, guys. 26 of 32 in the first round were Black. That's over 80%. You know, it's always the same cast of characters who cry racism and try to divide. So I guess we should not be surprised, but it's pathetic and it's lazy, and it only takes away from those times when racism truly does exist. The boy who cried wolf, stop doing this. You know, the speculation is going to continue. We'll hear more and more from scouts, et cetera, as far as why it took till pick 144 for Shadeur's name to be called. But please just stop with the race baiting.
Yeah, everybody is absolutely positive that Shadeur isn't picked. And I heard you guys in the chat beefing over this. And yes, it is true that pretty much all the NFL players look like this, right? They're all in the club hanging out with rappers and whatnot. Are they going a little bit too ham on Shadeur because he has the quote black image? And that's really what I want to talk about. And this is why I'm putting the link in the chat. I think for a lot of black people, what I'm hearing is this idea that your quote unquote blackness is what's being suppressed, right? They hate him because he's like unapologetically black, whatever that really means. And what it seems to mean is, something like this, at least image wise, right? The rapper image. And he has dropped a music video. And how is this for a rapper's chain?
That's insane, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
This too? No, that's fine.
My brother Shadeur told me he wanted a new piece of chain that nobody had, and he wanted the legendary return. So we designed something for him. Hopefully he's gonna like it. He hasn't seen me yet. You need to look at it. Okay.
Oh my god. You hear that? It don't sound cheap. This is ridiculous.
Yes. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's crazy.
This been hard though, right?
You can go no shirt with that too. Fix the collar on the right side. Yeah.
McCoy, what's going on? That's a dope chain. That's a rapper chain or what?
Man, this dude is trying to be a YouTuber, man. It's like this is like some Angel Reese type shit. This is what it really reminds me of, except we're talking about the NFL here, not no goddamn popularity contest. But you know what I saw while watching this, and great to be here in the Church of Misogyny. Dante Stallworth, he was up there with Jamel Hill. Dante Stallworth was in the NFL. This dude got a vehicular homicide case. Hit this dude walking or whatever. He ended up having to serve time for it. He got out, was back in the NFL in like less than a year after he got out. And he is on CNN talking about white supremacy. Like that shit just blows my it blows my mind. It blows my
I didn't even realize that was true about him. That's crazy though when you point that out. Yeah. White supremacy has been pretty good to him, it looks like.
It's been great to him.
And they let him get back in the game.
Yeah, it's been great to him. And now look at him. Now he gets to sit here and wear a bow tie and talk about how the evil white supremacy and how it's bad. Probably going to be on NFL.
I'm going to give me a bow tie. I'm going to try a bow tie out. I think there's a power in a bow tie I just haven't really tapped into. I wonder if it'll help. Maybe I should do my live streams wearing a bow tie.
Well, shoot.
Something about black people in bow ties, bro.
You gotta have some glasses on with them.
Yeah, I gotta go all the way. That's really what it is, right? You can't go halfway. You gotta go all the way pro-black. If you really want to tap into the power. But see, here's what I worry about. You can't, if you tap into the power going all the way pro-black, you can kind of sort of come out just a little gay. Because he looks a little gay in that little bow tie outfit he was wearing.
The Philadelphia Eagles celebrated their Super Bowl victory at the White House today, with star quarterback Jalen Hurts did not attend. While Eagles running back Saquon Barkley embarrassed himself by sucking up to Trump on the golf course this weekend, Jalen Hurts was absolutely
holding a football.
What's up with the African war drums in the back too, by the way? You hear this? Like normally people play like some pop music in the background, a hip hop beat. Maybe even a little light classical music. He's got war drums in the background.
Maybe some of the black celebrities, rappers, and athletes are not following the news, but I do. It's my job. And Donald Trump is not only the worst president in American history, but also the most openly racist president since Woodrow Wilson.
He's a race warrior.
100 years ago. Just today, the Justice Department indicated that it will no longer enforce the Voting Rights Act that took centuries for our ancestors to put in place. So don't give me any lip about respecting the office of the presidency when you're hobnobbing with a twice impeached convicted criminal who has disrespected the office and violated his oath to uphold the Constitution every day since January 20th. When a black public figure like Saquon Barkley associates with the man who got the NFL to remove the end racism sign from the Super Bowl end zone, they not only dishonor the 86% of black people and 92% of black women who voted against Trump, they dishonor a long line of black leaders who fought for their rights to be here. They dishonor Harriet Tubman, who was removed from the National Park Service website.
Not Harriet Tubman. I know y'all didn't take Harriet Tubman down.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
The Tuskegee Airmen, who were removed from Air Force training materials, Jackie Robinson, who was removed from the government website, Mae Brown Wiggins, who was denied an apartment in the Trump building because she was black, the exonerated Central Park Five, who are suing Trump for defamation after their childhood was taken from them because of his racist lynch mob, former President Barack Obama, whose birth certificate Trump spent 5.5 years lying about.
Is he just like reading off Trump's racial resume? What is this nigga doing? True Hype, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, like I want to say that Dante Stallworth, he had a homicide case, but he got convicted manslaughter.
Okay.
And then he got drafted by the Browns, I believe, and then ended up playing for the Patriots.
So the Browns is just like the trash team. Like we'll take anybody everybody else doesn't want.
They have a saying about the Cleveland Browns, and the saying is Cleveland is where the quarterback goes to die.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, because they had the most quarterbacks in league history. Was it like since '98 that they had like what maybe like 30-something quarterbacks? And I'm talking about like high level dudes too, first 3 rounds.
It wasn't always like that though, because in the '80s, Cleveland was always like a playoff contention team, kind of like what the Cowboys have been maybe in the past 15 years or so.
It'd be crazy if this Sanders kid spend like the next couple of years just playing basketball with all the other quarterbacks on the Browns. Just a bunch of, what do you call it? Just a bunch of pickup games with this other teammate.
Honestly, man, I don't know if he has like that good of a chance, because like a third or fourth string quarterback don't get that many reps, man. And like the owner's gonna step in. They're probably gonna have to hold like 4 quarterbacks. Yeah, that's ugly, man.
Yeah, Cleveland.
I don't know.
Cleveland wasn't the right choice for him because more than likely he's either gonna. Because I think the best thing for Shadeur to do is to sit. He has to be somewhere where he's gonna guarantee not to be playing for like a year, just so he can get the feel for it. Because if they just put him in the game right away, I mean, he'll more than likely, throw 3 interceptions one game, throw 3 interceptions another game, throw 3 interceptions another game, and just like that, they're gonna say his career is over. And really, he just got rushed out to the field.
Well, one theory I heard, and McCoy, I'm gonna mute up, please, because when you're not talking, you got a lot of feedback. But one thing I heard is that a fear, at least, is that you take this kid Sanders, put him on a team, he washes out just the way you said, he throws interceptions, he's not that great or whatever, and it's either keep the what do you call it, that marketable athlete talent, because he probably will bring some eyeballs to the game at least, right? and it's either keep him or keep the coach, and they might replace the coach with Deion Sanders, and now you got Coach Sanders and his kid, and that's the scenario people are trying to like stay away from.
Well, you gotta think Kevin Stefanski is the head guy up there, and he's like borderline on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Because some mismanagement stuff, the Deshaun Watson stuff don't help nothing. You know, him getting them secret massages or whatever from all them chicks. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just ugly, man, all around. Yo, man, like with this whole thing, I'm just like, yo, man, like, why do people automatically go to race? They didn't think it's a whole process and evaluation, like how friendly Dion is with certain people in the league and all the GMs and stuff like that, and how even Dion said that he's not going to let his son play for certain teams. He said it early on, like before the process really started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do people expect? Like, did you can tell these people what you're gonna do? I mean, like most black people will talk crazy. Most people that talk crazy about like what they are and what they ain't gonna do with their job, they lying. If they got a job worth anything, you know what I'm saying, or career, I don't know, it's funny to me. What y'all think about that?
Well, so I can't lie. I got caught up. Hey, do I still got a lot of feedback? Oh, anyway, I got caught up in the whole watching him fall during the draft because I didn't think he was going to be first number one or in a first round pick. If he ended up being a first round pick, I'd be shocked. But if he ended up, I was thinking third round, fourth round maybe. But I was thinking he was just going to get picked up sometime on Saturday. And whenever it was the fifth round, I was like, dang, fifth round? There's something up with that. And then going to the Browns, and I'm like, oh, man, he's screwed. So then, of course, you find out that, of course, what they always say that nobody's bigger than the shield of the NFL or whatever. And the NFL's always kind of kept, stayed consistent with that. However, the whole race card thing, I mean, that has been, I don't know, an Obama thing, but it's very profitable to, just talk about race. It gets you traction. It gets you attention. It gets people talking about you. People are going to, I don't know. So this shit is clearly a golden goose just to sit here and say that because
I'm sorry. Yeah, let me jump in for a second. I want to get Bumpkin in on this, man. What are your thoughts on this whole deal, Bumpkin?
What does the white man have to give next, guys? Do we have to give our fucking souls? Like, what's going on, man?
A little white soul would be nice, but can we let's all kind of moderate our language, please? Thank you.
Sorry,
but, a little white soul. I know your soul is on the line, but a little soul would be nice.
It's like, okay, here's an opportunity to make millions and millions and millions of dollars where you get to run down a field all day long and you get to secure your bloodline several times over and all this material wealth, all this luxury, and a chance to build, that American dream. And we still cry racism. What is going on?
Yeah, this dude is
this dude is really doesn't.
He's not even like middle class. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the equivalent of Clarence. You know what I'm saying? Like having a really good marriage. You know what I'm saying? But then rapping in the underground in 8 Mile.
Well, this is what I was referring to earlier when somebody asked me about sports, and I just was like, it's NFL, it's millionaires chasing balls. Like, it's not that exciting to me anymore. I don't know, something killed the magic of it all, especially the more I keep saying it, millionaires chasing balls around. It's just like, what am I even watching this for? But you do kind of live like this privileged lifestyle, and so your deepest complaint is nothing to me.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, the
okay,
shit.
it's like,
Oh,
okay, NFL.
my bad, Bunkin. I was just gonna say the Shadeur angle is like it's weird too because it's like he's not as hungry as the other athletes are in a lot of cases. So I don't even know if he likes football like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. See, there's a lot of things that we didn't go ahead. Oh well.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. Like, hey, let's hear the multi-million-dollar athlete complaint and compare that to the coal miners complaint. You know what I mean? It's so dumb, dude. Like it's like you sign one deal and it's over, bro. Like your bloodline's secure. You're golden. Like everything else from this point forward, it's like, yeah, there you go. Look at that. You're gonna have a perfect life with a little bit of stride. So anything that these multimillionaires complain about, I throw out the window, to be honest with you.
Well, to be fair, and this is another thing I realized just about the nature of television in general, is why I don't watch so much of it anymore. But anytime you see like black people on television, leading something about racism, they're almost always essentially the 1% of Black America.
Yeah.
It's like the most charmed existence Black America can achieve, and you're trying to tell me that I can't do it because of racism.
Yeah. Hey, Hood, what are your thoughts on this pivot that Chaotic Truth has made?
What do you mean pivot? Because I only watch him nominally. I haven't been on his panel in a while, so I'm not totally sure what you're talking about.
So it seems like Chaotic gets up every day, and the only thing it is rage bait for FBAs every day.
I mean, I think he's found in that sense, he may have just found a content lane.
Okay.
Because I got to tell you, as like a content creator, it's difficult to have some kind of intellectually juicy topic that is interesting to you and your audience. And in the meantime, it's easy to fill up the space with rage bait. I might get to that point one day.
Well, don't get twisted about CT either, though. Like for the last 3 weeks before this week, it was all anti-white hate. So I mean, it's like he just finds an avenue for like 3 weeks, and he goes in cycles. He always does this. He's I followed CT for a while. You just gotta look at the cycles that he goes through, and you can definitely tell by like the titles. If you want to know what a long cycle is, it's how long the title is. It's kind of how he works, sadly.
There's a business to this art, and then there's an art to this business. So I try not to read too personally into that sort of thing, because from the inside I get it now. It's sort of like the content itself takes over, and you just sort of do what the content needs you to do.
Yeah, CT's not anti-white. He's probably not anti-FBA. He's pro money. That's the
I think he's more anti-FBA, not FBA. I think like when we talk about like black conservatives criticizing the black community, I think that's really his core. And so he might, branch out into other stuff because it sells a little bit.
Yeah, definitely seems that he's pro money though, which means that he's kind of has to do what he's paid to do.
Hey man, I understand the pull of money, and I guess the more honest people try to remain loyal to some kind of identity that they hold and make money at the same time. But you do what you gotta do to make money, right?
Hey man,
Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away.
That's crazy work.
That's great.
Hey, you know it's wild too, man. Like I guess I'm a little privy to my bad. Like I guess I'm privy to I'm plugged in with a lot of different types of people that have like access to other people like across a bunch of different industries. And I was talking to some reporters this weekend that cover my team. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking to their other friends, the reporters across the league, about other teams and how they had the quote unquote anonymous sources and reports or whatever about Shadeur. And allegedly, one of the reasons why they were kind of scared to put their name on it, which I really don't like the whole anonymous source thing. I was like, yo, if you're gonna say something, put your name behind it so people don't dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? But basically, they were scared that the Dion media machine was gonna get behind something they said, and then basically churn them into the ground and try to run them out the league. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then as a team, and this is what I was arguing when I was over on Freezy's channel with all those niggers. It was like, you realize there are a lot of other negatives that come with him. Even if you say he's everything you say he is, which is a giant question mark in and of itself, because apparently there's evidence, there's reason to believe he's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. And even if he is, he still comes with other negatives that, from a larger team sense, you have to consider. Like there's locker room harmony, there's the extra media problem with his father being Dion. There is the coaching issue where it's like, is he even really coachable away from his dad? Because, and you know what? Let me point something out to you guys. and Ben, I'm sorry, Bumpkin being here is a great. I don't even know that this is true for you, Bumpkin, but as a representative of white America, I'm playing the odds here. So just hold on a second, Bumpkin. You'll hear where I'm going with this.
Okay.
A lot of black folk really like to hype up the issue that he has a black dad. He's got his father. Look, this one got one. He got one. He got a father, and he be doing things. He's an active father. Look at him protecting his son. Look at him guiding his son's future. Black folk really was like grandstanding on this idea that he's got a dad and this dad's helping. And I was over on Freezy's panel, and I'm like, you realize like you niggas is grandstanding on nothing, right? Because outside of Black America, having a dad in and of itself, and all the good things that would include, all the love, support, the little invisible protection and guiding, it almost goes without saying outside of Black America, right? So you guys wanting everyone else to respect his Black fatherhood, I don't think it gives you the credibility that you think it does. Like, yeah, he's got a dad, but everybody else here, like, they come from long lines of dads.
They hate dads.
Hey,
I don't know what the point is.
Yeah, I was thank you, Hood. I'm glad you brought that up. Afternoon, everyone. Here's the irony of all this grandstanding on the black dads. The only people that I've ever met that like are truly okay with black fathers is white conservative men. Outside of that, white liberals and black liberals and black conservatives, I guess they're all right with fathers. But outside of that, they have a problem with fathers. So I don't know what's up with all this grandstanding on he have a father. In any other context, they would be diminishing that father. But now all of a sudden they're pretending as if they enjoy seeing black fathers. It's really weird.
That's what was irking me about, like, as I thought about my interaction with those guys over on the Freezy panel and all that, I'm like, there's a hypocrisy here that's just eating me up, and I got to think about it. The reason why, all right, American man, you need to go indoors for a minute. I'm going to mute you for a second. I'm hearing a lot of wind tunnel noise, and you're getting a lot of audio pop, American man. I don't know if you can help fix that, but Bumpkin, the reason why I mentioned you in that little preamble is I wanted to ask you, is it really that much of a issue? Is it a prideful thing to be like, I have a dad in white America? Is it such an uncommon thing?
No,
that it's a badge of honor?
It'd be like saying it rained today. I'm so happy.
Right. This is what I don't think
everyone's got a dad, bro. Everyone's got a dad. Asian community, everyone's got a dad. Yeah. So actually, it's an anomaly when you don't have a dad. And most of the time, if you don't have a dad, it's like because your dad died or something, you know what I mean?
Right,
In a house fire or something, you know what I mean?
I'm on this panel and everybody tried to like grandstand on this idea. The NFL hates it because he's got an active black father. So there's two things, right? So black dad, which is level one, active dad, so he's black and he's active, like he actually goes outside, he does things, right? And so they're building up this image to like take pride in, and I'm like, you realize these things kind of almost mean nothing because they're so common outside of Black America, like you're standing on air.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Look, he has an active father, guys. It's like, yeah, well, let's not celebrate the rain. That's the prerequisite to life. It sucks that some people. It sucks that most black people don't have that. That does suck, and that is something culture that you got to fix. But let's not celebrate the rain. It shouldn't be something that's celebrated. You know what I mean? It's a prerequisite.
Well, there was that video of Drew Barrymore like last year out in the rain, like happy, and then the black ladies didn't like that too much. There's like think pieces about it and all that.
Yeah, black women don't like the rain either.
It's starting to sound like black women just ain't happy.
They're just not. That's why
They're never happy.
So I have a question.
But look, I remember that Drew Barrymore thing. I think they were mad at her because there was a word she used. I can't remember, like flog. I can't remember what she said, but there was a word that she used, and a whole bunch of black people on TikTok came out and canceled her because they're like, she's stealing our words. So I
let me jump to Freeman's journal real quick, man. I haven't heard from you yet. What's going on, Freeman? Real quick, thoughts on the NFL hating black fathers and black men with confidence. Where do you start with that?
No, just Negroes thinking in non sequiturs, right? It's just a picture of a black father and a black son and a white father and a white son. And it's like same, it's just the same thing. God do the same thing. Right, never minding all the nuance, right? They can't do nuance. So it is, and I think white people are magic, right? Like if there's
hold on, you said they think white people are magic. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me more about this white magic.
Well, look, it goes back to John Ogbu and his research, right? There was a controversy because the black students were not getting the same grades as the white students, even though they were going to the same schools and living in the same neighborhoods, right? The TLDR is the black kids weren't doing as much homework and as much work to get the grades, right? They thought white magic, right? If you're in the same place as the white people and you're on the same soil and you're in the same school, everything is the same, right? So now that you have a black father, right, who was in the NFL, and black son that's in the NFL, everything's same. White magic takes over, and mysteriously, anything you do outside of that will have no effect on any outcome in any way. You procured white magic.
That's interesting. It almost sounds like what I hear a lot of people in the right-wing circles call magic dirt theory. Like, America just has magic dirt, and if you come to America, you'll just be like an American, or like Europe, for example. Like if the black people from Africa just moved to Europe, they should at least theoretically behave and perform like all the other people who've been standing on this dirt this whole time, because it's the dirt that's magic. The black people just believe in magic, I think, across the board, whether it's dirt, whether it's white people, whether it's planes in the sky. I think a lot of black folk just believe in magic.
Sorry, yeah, it's just this, I don't know, man. It is this thing where they're just like, oh, it's same, and it's not, dude. I mean, the kid he packs the ball, holds the ball, and this tape's terrible, man. If you play this tape, he looks like a 5th round pick because he's, people are like, somebody was saying, oh, he has 4,000 yards. Like the guy who got picked before him, who you said was terrible, had 4,000 yards. Right there, Cam Ward had 4,000 yards. Will Howard, drafted in the 6th round, had 4,000 yards.
I'm glad you mentioned his tape, Freeman's Journal, because one thing I do on the majority of my shows is I actually provide video footage for the majority of what I want to talk about. I rarely just freestyle about how much I hate a particular thing. Like, I show you why you should hate it too, right? I try to add that to what I do here because it gives credibility, at least from my perspective. And one thing I didn't see a lot of was black people actually being very analytical and critical and going over footage and numbers and pulling up evidence. It was all just race baiting theory about why this happened to him. And then when I started going over the footage that I used for today's show, I'm like, well, you know, there are obviously some arguments against this kid that have nothing to do with him being a black confident kid or his dad being a black active father. Like, cut the bull. He's not that great, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, but if you think about it though, man, there's players that have been worse, prospects even, that have got picked up in the first round. It's because in the first round you have that fifth year option, and if you're talking about developing a quarterback cheaply, that's a better deal. So they value the quarterback position differently. That's why Kenny Pickett was picked, who's on the same team as him. Which we will see how good he is. If he don't beat out Kenny Pickett, I'm like, oh man, that.
And here's the other thing: the most when you mention that they don't analyze it. Look, narrative requires the omission of information, right? You like pick any topic, right? You have to omit information if you want to have a particular narrative, like climate change, right? They still pushing climate change. You know what? I have repeatedly offered to sit down and watch An Inconvenient Truth, which came out in 2006, and evaluate those claims. None of these climate change believers want to take that challenge, right? They have to omit that. They have to look away from it. You know what I mean? They can only give this little snippet of information, which may in fact be true, but narrative requires omission. That's why they're not going to show Shadeur's tape, right? I just put a link in the chat. They're not going to show that.
Look at song. Just drop for him, Richie. I play football. Here we go. Football. I play football. You ain't got no hobbies outside of that? Play football. That's the only hobby I want people to know me as football player. Let's search up Ken Wood. You say American football.
Back in my zone, man, you know I can't stop. I was blue face, I was really with that mop.
Music. I know they're gonna zap me for the music, but
go back to the big. Go back. Right
no, I played that first half. This part I had this clip clean, and I played this during the video sort of montage I'd started out the show with, because it was about an hour of video montage content, and this was in here. And one of the things about it is Cam says flat out, "I play football. I want to be in your music video. I play football." He really don't even want to be his friend. Like that's the energy I'm getting from Cam right now. It's like, I really don't even want to be your friend. I play football.
Come on, bro. Let's make a song. Let's drop for him, Richie. I play football. Here we go. Football. You ain't got no hobbies outside of that? Play football. That's the only hobby I want people to know me as football player.
Hey, I'll put another link in the back. Play that one.
Hold on, let me see, where are we?
Hey, Hood, I think eventually a whole bunch of other stuff is going to come out about, leading up to the draft and conversations had, and the way Shadeur rubbed other people the wrong way.
It's already coming out.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be kicked up a notch.
And I suspected as much, because see, like I'm having this conversation from a very outside perspective, in that I don't really watch sports like that. I kind of follow things when they become newsworthy, but other than that, I don't really watch sports. And so I'm kind of on the tail end of this Cam thing. And so now that I'm looking at it, oh yeah, I expected a negative reputation to follow, because it's easy for Black people to put up the team defense, but once the rumors and the evidence start to pile up, a lot of Black folk gonna look stupid, which is typical. It happens.
I hope you're not getting no water. We just had the first drill. Oh, that's how you feel? You get water, we ain't even done with the first drill. Let's go. That's how it is in Colorado, though. Inside the numbers, top. That's what it's like for a 9-win man. Come down inside, like right inside the numbers, top. Yeah, I didn't have water. I drink Gatorade. Shit, I get paid for. I don't need to get paid. Football. I hope you're not getting.
I don't need to get paid. Football pays me. Like there's an attitude in that. There's a mindset in that. And if you're the coaching staff of a prospective team, if you're the ownership of a prospective team, then you're not just gonna be moved by he's black and his dad loves him. Like, so what? Nobody cares that you got a dad, bro. Like, we all got a dad. Every one of us came from somebody else's nuts, bro. That's not special here.
So what's funny is Cam got drafted by my team, right? And like I remember, like his pro day was about a month ago now, and freaking the owner went to his pro day to talk to him. I was like, I've never heard about that before. Like an owner going like that early on to meet a draft pick. I don't know. It's pretty wild to me.
Ball. Ball. That's a good rip. That's a good rip. I don't need your validation, bro.
I don't need your validation.
There it is. Yeah, that's a good one right there, coach. Ball. Oh, coach, gonna stop playing with me. Come on, ball.
Let me stop the show for a minute here. I think we might have a special guest in the house. Is this the Undead Chronic, the one and only, in fact, Undead Chronic?
I hope I find a bitch as loyal to me as Mel Kiper was to Shadeur Sanders. That guy was
fucking
so
it's Undead Chronic. Holy, what's going on, man?
You see all the analysts, they all were getting buddy with Dion for decades, and they're just like, Shadeur's gonna go number 1. He's gonna go number 3, number 4. And then he dropped to not only did this dude go in the 5th round, he went to the Browns. Oh, it's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it has to suck. This is the thing, though. He was too hyped up, and I think that's kind of what's killing a lot of people right now, especially like the black folk. They don't want to take an L on somebody that they maybe perhaps overhyped, because Dion was legit. Dion, I think he was a 2-sport talent back in the day. Actually, he was legit, but maybe your son isn't as great as you were. And that's kind of rough, perhaps, especially for the son. But I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, how many young black men basically became millionaires last week? How many dubs did the community get? Like, why you gotta? It's not every case is an L. Like, so and they're trying to kind of see what's happening with Saquon Barkley. They're trying to be like, well, you're not black because you golfed with Trump, but Shadeur's black because he's very arrogant and swaggy.
That's what I hated about the tone of a lot of the conversations I was listening to or even were a part of. There's this idea that there's a black image that they have to sell. And I don't like a lot of the black image that they want to be like the flagship black image. I don't think that works. And the problem is there's this idea that, we should just be able to win on swag. And that's not going to get you very far outside of heavily black circles, because outside of the Black America thing, people expect something else, right? There's a culture, there's a posture, there's an attitude. God forbid there's even a pedigree that might kneecap you off the gate. But there's a thing that I don't think you can really just swag your way through. And I was on the No Captivity with Freezy channel. I played some of that earlier, and I brought this point up to these guys, and it's almost like I was talking to Plato's Cave here. Nobody even understands what I mean. Like there's a culture you have to conform to if you want to go higher up the socioeconomic ladder. There's no way around it. And so when you look at this kid, Sanders kid, he wants to do the I'm a rap black. He wants to be a rap black. He doesn't want to be the Cam Ward black. And I think there's a problem.
I think Dion made his teammates go to his headline rap performance in Boulder. He opened up for some other rapper, and Dion was trying to make all the players go to listen to his son rap. Oh man, that's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know. My best friend, he is a educated, I don't say African American. He's black, but he's definitely not of the culture. But he definitely gets the negative whiplash in that he's not arrogant. He's not flashy. Dude wears Pokemon t-shirts. He has 2 PhDs, and he gets kind of treated like dog shit by the black community because he does not emulate that kind of culture, that specific culture. Now, his parents have multiple houses paid off. All siblings are married. He has a house almost paid off. He's very successful. Regardless of race, he's successful. But because he wears glasses and he can't name a Kendrick Lamar album, he's not really black, and he's kind of derided by the community.
There's been a long standing, and even like in the sort of black manosphere circles I've been in, like there's just this long standing kind of war over what blackness truly means, what the black identity is. Like in some ways, like I don't even measure up as black enough when I talk to a lot of these people, just because of the opinions and whatever I have, and I'll take ideas to a logical extreme. Like maybe white folk actually do need to have more babies and stay in, and the population numbers. Like I talk about certain things, like just the very statement alone puts you outside of the black mainstream. And there's like this sort of soul of blackness civil war that's long standing. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, by the way. I'm just sort of now taking my part in it, but I don't think it goes away.
Well, like what's been building black culture for what? Almost 180 years now? 80 years? The single mother household. That's what's been building black culture. And so
I was about to say the government.
Yep.
That's the same thing though. Single mothers are the government.
What started what allows single mothers to kind of rule the black community is the government, right? The government, it's a bunch of white cops keeping black dads away from their kids. It's a bunch of white cops taking taxes from black and white dudes to give to single mothers. It's the white Lyndon Johnson started the whole snowball in the black community, and it's been 80 years of just absolute destruction.
Well, let me kind of shift a little bit here. One of the other things that's weird about this conversation with the NFL hating confident black men and hating black fathers or whatever, the NFL probably more than any other, well, any institution in Black America certainly, but the NFL has probably created more black fathers. Like it's created a path for strong black fatherhood more than anything in Black America has ever produced. And I think it's a weird argument to make that the NFL hates black men or it hates strong black fathers. And I let me ask you this question. I don't know if you were here specifically for this. I think I know what you're going to say automatically, but I'm going to ask anyway. Who hates strong, confident black men or black fathers more, the NFL or black women in general?
I was going to say black women.
Yeah, like this is such a goofy point to bring up.
As soon as you said who hates black, I just posted a clip on my channel. Is some black liberal woman like on a street interview saying that abortion is good because the black community is overpopulated. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that chick from was it Live Action or whatever, the pro-natalist channel or whatever. She was doing a man on the street interview on a campus, and that chick didn't even know what she said. It might have even been a Freudian slip. Like that chick didn't even understand the gravity of what she said.
No, I think she understood it. She understood it. She was crazy in the eyes, but she was honestly arguing that there needs to be less black babies because the black community is overpopulated. It might be a mix of like a weird kind of environmentalism, there's too many humans, along with the self-hatred that wokeness teaches black people, right? It's funny, they go to all like the pride rallies, BLM and all this stuff, but at the core, the message is we need to fight and join hands with Jewish people and white people because you are just naturally born in a weak position, and we need government to make you not so weak.
Hey, conservative.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I wonder if these Democrats who, sit here and say things like blacks don't know what a computer is, often I wonder if they have a point. Because, on Ock Nation, where I'm always on, all he does is report on crime. And, so you see the same thing happening over and over and over again. And, so when you hear some dumb chick talking about, oh, they're overpopulated, where black people are overpopulated and they need to be aborted. She learned that from some crazy leftists. And I think that them leftists might be ahead of the game. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, yes and no. They were ahead of the game on a problem they created themselves, so I won't give them credibility for the dialectic thing that they just pulled off. That's not gonna, satisfy my curiosities or whatever. Here's what you just really missed, I guess, the way you laid it out. Yeah, I do think there's some truth to the argument that Black folk just aren't producing quality at the same level that this our current level of civilization demands, right? I'm trying to say this as cleanly as possible here, but there's an issue with IQ and genetics and whatnot. I'm not going to run away from it. I'm just going to be delicate. Now, that being said, I think what happened over time is the welfare state, feminism, they've all exacerbated what may have been perhaps a somewhat intractable issue anyway. It may just be what it is, right? But you made it worse by making everybody gay single mother welfare queens and turning all the men into rappers and hustlers and shit. Like, the social program only exacerbated a problem that may have, and I'm no scientist, I'm no geneticist, I have no final word on it. I'm just saying it may have been just a state of affairs that will just generally persist, right? But you maybe can't equalize things all the way perfectly, but it's a lot easier to mess things up. And I think that's what happened. They messed things up in their so-called attempt to fix things. And so now we're at a point where if you want to make an argument for something like culling, it's almost hard to say how wrong you are.
Well, the black American gene seed has been tarnished by generations of single mothers. There's two ways that can happen. One is a child's genetics, how those genes are expressed, actually changes with the environment the mother is in when she's pregnant. So the study I always bring up is girls who are raised without a father have their first period about a year earlier than if her father was, compared to girls who had fathers in the household.
I'm familiar with that.
That's priming them to become promiscuous and to, go out and make men for the tribe, so to speak. That's kind of the backside of that. And that's just one study. So we know gene expressions changed when there's not a father around. And those gene expressions from just changing the environment gets passed down to their kids. So we had like 4 generations of that. On a social setting, what kind of dudes are these black women choosing to get pregnant from? Is it the guy that decides to work 50 hours a week welding to open his own company? Is it the guy that visits his auntie in the nursing home? Or is it the dude with dreads doing drill rap? Like, which one is more likely to have 5 baby mamas?
Hey, it's the Pop the Balloon episode where they all turn down the doctor and say he's not thug enough. I'm like, what?
Pop the Balloon is so heartbreaking. I swear I can't watch that show.
Dude, like, if you're productive, man, you get no love, man. It's wild, man. But first off, that is a shaming ritual that I will not be a part of ever.
Facts. Most dating shows I realize are just humiliation rituals, but they're nice though.
Yeah, well, I mean, for every race, being aggressive gets you more female validation, but our civilizations weren't built on women having sexual freedom. Rome wasn't built because Roman women were allowed to choose who they had kids with. And so this hypergamous, corrosive nature of women wanting to bang the big alpha giga chad, that was restrained via marriage. And that's how civilizations started. That's how city-states were built.
Hey, Undead. So you don't subscribe to the Joy Reid, the reason why Rome fails because of diversity. They didn't have enough diversity.
Oh, she said that?
No, you know what? I was gonna do content on that. I was gonna make a video on that, but I changed my mind. We're gonna do some shows on that. I'm gonna do a show on that because there's this notion that we should be like South Africa. Well, she said South America in that clip that you're talking about, True Hype. But in reality, the best examples would be more like South Africa. And anywhere in post-colonial Africa, right? And I'm just looking at it like, I don't think you understand what's going on here. And so I got a lot of other clips I'm going to use to fill out this conversation, but I want to do some longer content on that, because she really said, first of all, she was on the anti-white baby argument. She was basically saying, like, if America invests more in the white people as opposed to diversity, then we'll fall like Rome, because Rome, it didn't it tried to fight its diversity or something like that. She doesn't understand the Roman thing, so I'm paraphrasing her poorly.
I'm shocked Joy Reid even knows what Rome is. Like, I'm
Right.
shocked. Like, wow.
I mean, she knows the word Rome, obviously, but she doesn't know what Rome is. I think you're not really that shocked. She doesn't know what Rome is. She only knows the word Rome as like a place that white people used to be cool. She doesn't really know what it is, though. And that's why she said something so stupid.
Well, Rome actually fell because of diversity. You know, all these swarthy Italians and like the black Roman citizens, they were just big chilling. And all these wild blonde-haired crackers from up north came down and fucked everything up.
The Germans, oh god, all that. There was a bunch of stuff going on, but Joy doesn't know things. Girls just be doing stuff. This is a phrase I just realized. It actually helps me through my day. It's like a mantra. Just remind myself, girls just be doing stuff. So life makes more sense when I just accept that.
That sounds like something dirty folks would say.
Yeah, if just in the basis of your soul, if you absorb and understand, you shouldn't give a shit about what anything a woman says. Your life just becomes so much easier.
Because girls just be doing stuff. It does sound like I'm channeling dirty folks right now, but it's really true. Like, especially when you think about that Joy Reid clip, and not just Joy, but like I talk about like the black women on CNN a lot, and it's like their job is to just get on TV and just say things, because it's okay. Just get on TV and say things. You're cute. You're black. It'll work.
Cute.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you know.
Oh, okay.
What about the ones? What about the ones that are really not cute and blame racism and fascism for obesity?
That's the strongest weapon, because you can't say anything to them because they don't have the pretty privilege. So you have to keep your mouth shut. It's terrible.
Well, actually, I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a second. I went in a little bit of overtime because I didn't expect to have Undead pop up here today. And I know I pop into your channel from time to time. I feel like I owe you a visit, because I know you mentioned that in the last show I think you did the other day. Yeah, and I'm definitely down. We got to work it out or whatever, some timing and all that.
Hey,
but I'm definitely down to make an appearance.
Yeah, whenever I'm streaming, if you have the time, just at me in the chat, man. But hey, good show. I'm happy to see everybody dunk on the Sanders, because I don't think anybody here really likes rich, privileged people. But hey, you guys take it easy.
Yeah, no doubt. He doesn't get a black pass from me either. I don't like all the rich, the millionaires chasing balls things. But guys, we're gonna wrap this one up, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to Undead for making a surprise appearance. Appreciate that. True Hype, McCoy, thank you guys so much for joining the panel tonight. Shout out to American Man. Freedman's Journal. Shout out to everybody that came through the night. Shout out to Computer Geek. And who are you arguing with in the chat, Computer Geek? You guys are like incredibly active in the chat. You were like 40% of the chat conversation. Was it Webster? But yeah. Shout out to you guys in your chat room, Beef. But I do have to get out of here. Probably come back tomorrow with another live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to close this one out. Appreciate all the support. Shout out to the new members in the church. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Appreciate you supporting the new monetized endeavor. We're trying to keep this thing live, tight, and professional. Look like it's going well so far. You guys have a great night. I will catch you later on the next show. Have a great evening. Peace, y'all.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.